transition to this young core is very exciting for us. Having said that, it did not come without frustration. There is, obviously we understand how tough this was for fans, and it was tough for us.
That was Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins today talking about the less than impressive season that the team had, which included them trading away some fan favorites, but also introducing some rays of lights in the team's rookies like Bo Bichette. But in the end, the team still lost 95 games. That's the most they've lost since 1980. So obviously they have a lot to work on. So I talked to Ross about how they're going to try to improve this for next season. A lot of fans have their own opinion about what is important, but what is the one thing that the Jays are going to work on starting in the offseason? What's the number one priority?
Yeah, we need to acquire pitching, and then not just in the form of depth, but we need to acquire pitching we can rely on and depend upon over the course of a year.
Okay, so I spoke to Charlie for his season ending. I asked him how his first season went, and he said great. But in your mind, how do you think that he did as manager this year?
I agree. Yeah, it was an incredible challenge, and we asked a lot of him, so he handled it well. It was, we certainly didn't expect to lose 95 games, and that was very tough on fans and tough on him, and he handled it exceptionally well. And then what that shifted to, it created opportunity for us to transition young players, and they have transitioned well. So now our focus shifts to building around that young core, and we are exceptionally excited about doing that.
Jays President Mark Shapiro was also on hand to talk to the media today, where he was asked point blank if he believes that the Jays will go for a championship run next season.
Man, I think that's what we want. We want to move again, take that next step, a championship run. I think a playoff contender is kind of the next step for us. When that happens is going to be a little bit contingent upon the development of our players, and throughout the continuum of baseball, that's a little bit inconsistent as to how fast that happens. I don't think it's unrealistic to think that we progress, beyond, what would be the norm next year, but I don't want to put any firm win expectation on that.
So basically, he thinks it's a long shot until the Jays make it to the World Series, or rather, if they could make it to the World Series next year. But what he did say, which could be promising to Jays fans, is that they will be making an announcement for some upgrades and adjustments to the Rogers Center. But first, their number one priority about that is getting the roof done.